Copenhagen have qualified and their budget is like a 20th of Manchester United's. How do you explain that?
So,
do you ever feel sympathy for an opposition coach?
정확한 해석으로 신속하게 정보를 전달해드리는 맥스월드입니다. 이번 맨유와 민헨의 챔스 조별리그 경기로 맨유가 충격적으로 조 꼴찌 탈락을 하는 결과가 확정됐는데요. 이에 대해서 잉글랜드 레전드들이 대놓고 쓴소리를 거침없이 하였고 경기 후 감독 기자회견에서는 투헬과 테나흐 감독 모두에게 기자들이 맨유를 놀리는 듯한 질문을 던졌습니다. 이에 대해 어떻게 반응했는지 함께 보시죠.
Merce, I'll start with you with a word on Manchester United. Out with a whimper, wasn't it really? Where does this leave their season, do you think?
You know, it gets from bad to worse, and then all of a sudden they keep their head above water. And this was a shocker. This draw was a good draw. When it come out, you're thinking, whatever happens, they're second in this group. You know, and that's no disrespect to Galatasaray or Copenhagen, but you know, we're talking Premier League giants, Man United, and to go out like they did and not even get into the Europa is a shocker. You know, yesterday you turn up. The crowd was sort of turned up like we're going to get beat anyway, and it just carried that, put it onto the pitch. The players knew, and it was a bad watch. It was a bad watch, a real bad watch. There's ways of losing football matches, ways of losing football, like Arsenal did at Villa. There's ways of losing. You know, you come away from there a bit positive, but you'd have thought Man United have had a right go at this. You know, it was a free swing, really. You know, and Man United shouldn't get free swings. You know, this is one of the biggest clubs in the world, and they played it like they were like a non-league team going to a championship team in the FA Cup.
But Stephen, in many ways, you know, Merce says the fans turned up almost expecting them to lose the game. I mean, that's the most damning bit, isn't it? This is Manchester United who've had famous European nights. They've won European trophies, and yet this is not actually, no one's that surprised.
No, and I think that just comes down to the goals that they're conceding far too easy. You know, there's moments in games where they look brilliant, but there's also moments in games where there's a lot of moments in games where they look absolutely awful. You know, conceding far too many goals. Would they score? Was it score 13 goals, conceded 15 goals? Just sums up their, you know,
the most ever by a Premier League team in the Champions League.
Yeah, I mean, if you're going to be conceding goals every game, then you've got an uphill battle straight away. And they haven't got enough quality to score enough goals. That's the thing with them. And to go out with in that way, I mean, in a way, is it going to be a blessing in disguise of no European football now after January, where they can concentrate on the league form? But even that doesn't look like it's going to be going well for them.
It's certainly not a blessing in disguise if you're Erik ten Hag wanted to strengthen your squad. Chris, I'd have thought. Will the elite players still want to sign for Manchester United?
Yeah, they will, because they'll offer them bombs like they've done before. I mean, when you look at, Manchester United for a number of years now has just been a patch-up job. The signings they've brought in, it's just as if, you know, we'll get to the next transfer window, we'll go and get somebody else in, then we'll improve, and all of us. You know.
You finished bottom of the group with the lowest amount of points that Manchester United have got in the group phase. Bayern Munich, obviously, a very good side, and tonight was a tough game. Copenhagen have qualified, and their budget is like a 20th of Manchester United's. How do you explain that?
So I looked to my team, and we had I think the opportunities in games, and we were in the winning positions. I think we scored many goals, but then also we have to see that we gave it away. Sometimes by individual errors, but by not one player, but by more players, and not every time the same. And so, we gave the opponent the opportunities to return. But if you assess that, we had very good spells in such game, but we have to do better. And the fact are, we have not enough points. So that is, of course, disappointed. That is. We are disappointed as a group, and as a manager I'm disappointed. We should have done better.
Questions?
Hi. That seemed very comfortable. Is that fair?
It's never comfortable in Old Trafford, but we did good. We found straight into the game. We defended very well as a team, very aggressively. We did not allow any chances or half chances, so we also needed to defend dangerous set pieces. And yeah, if you have the impression it was comfortable, it's never comfortable. We're never fully comfortable, but I think we deserved the win. We needed a reaction. We got a reaction. We played with personality and good energy and much more aggressive and a very higher level than in the last match. It was one of our best performances.
Weitere Fragen?
Further questions?
You know what it's like to manage in this country. You obviously have got a team that is going to be one of the favourites for the Champions League. You also know what will come on Erik ten Hag now. Do you ever feel sympathy for an opposition coach, or is it too intense, the competition?
Almost always I feel sympathy for the other coach, but of course within the competition we try everything to win our matches. This is why we are, and this is what it is. These are the rules of high-level sports and of sports in general, that we play on the highest level to win our matches. But of course I have sympathy. I just told you, I think that he has a lot of key players injured for a decisive match now that you can see, and then they lack this kind of personality and also the quality and maybe the wits to change games from the bench. So I think you could see that, and yeah, it's not an easy time, but I'm pretty sure that he knows what to do next. He knows how to influence his team, and yeah, he does not need my advice. He does not need my clapping on the shoulders. He's experienced enough to go through it. I had not such a nice moment last Saturday. Sometimes you feel very lonely as a coach, I can tell you, but in general I have sympathy for all of my colleagues, because I know what it takes to keep a thing going.
Yeah. Are you surprised? Miguel.
Sorry.
Are you surprised that almost Manchester United are out from the bottom of the group with a similar size Bayern?
Yeah, it is a huge club, and it is of course not what you expect when you see the group. You immediately think that also Manchester United is challenging for the win of the group and for a place in the round of 16. But in my experience, I can just tell you, we had a difficult group. It looks now very clear for us in terms of points and in terms of the distance that we earned for us in the points between us and the rest. But the matches were all very, very tight, and the results were very narrow. The opponents were very difficult and very different styles of play to play against. So you could see it in the results. Everything was possible until today for Man United, and you can see. And I think, like in some of the matches, it was games changed in a blink of an eye for them. So they were pretty comfortable in Istanbul in the lead, and they gave it away. They were like comfortable in the lead, I think, in Copenhagen, which could have been decisive matches. They scored a lot of points, and yeah. So, like I say, it's a big club. It's also a big team. It's a dangerous team. They can hurt you in any minute. That's why we are very happy that we could prove a point, we could show a reaction, and we can prove our reaction with a result that is amazing, and we are happy for that.
Don't see any more signs. Thank you very much. Nice evening.
Nice.